So I'm moving out of my one bedroom luxury apartment in about 2 months, and I'm actually super excited, way more excited to move out than I was to move in because just being here for my lease and everything, it just made me realize that everyone's perception of luxury is different. And while staying here and dealing with different situations throughout that life gives you, it just made me realize that I value different types of luxuries other than physical aspects, you know? And to better explain it, you see all over on social media about luxury this, like luxury apartment, my luxury thing. And I feel like it got to me because I did live in what was considered a luxury studio before this apartment. And I loved my studio. It was definitely clean, it was cute. But I did not feel comfortable in my studio, and it's because of certain things that I wanted, and I feel like I wasn't able to accomplish if I stayed in my studio. So I decided to move up into a luxury one bedroom. And just seeing all of on social media when people post like their videos and they have like nice countertops and like high ceilings, and it just made me feel like, dang, I kind of want to experience that. And I wanted to experience it with any means like necessary. What like I needed to experience it. And I didn't even think about anything else in that manner. I just wanted to experience having like a luxury apartment. And I think that was one of the most stupidest things I've ever done. I'm not joking. Like I moved here, and before I moved here, I was telling people, yeah, I'm gonna move here. This is how much it costs. A bunch of people were telling me, Alice, maybe this is a little bit expensive. Maybe you don't need to move here. But I was like, listen, I'm moving here. I was like, I'm moving here, and I do not care what y'all say. I'm moving here, and I'm going to experience this luxury apartment with any means necessary. I don't care. And I've been living here, and what it made me realize is I don't care about having a luxury apartment. I don't care as long as I have a clean place that doesn't have bugs, doesn't have rodents. It doesn't have to have like dark wood, maybe white cabinets because I do like white cabinets, but it doesn't have to have dark wood, stainless steel appliances. It just made me realize like I do not care. And I feel like it made me realize what I valued more when certain events took place while being here. It made me realize like I would rather have this than having to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have a situation going on and you look at it and you're like, dang, I would have rather done this than having to pay rent. And because of that, I wanted to read off like some of the things that I see as luxury. It doesn't even have to deal with money, but what I see as luxury other than having to be in a luxury apartment. So my luxuries, I would say, is like one of them I listed down is being able to do random fun activities if I feel like it, like going to Six Flags, traveling. If you have a large sum of money that needs to go to rent and your friends want to do something around rent time and you can't because like, oh, rent and stuff, it just made me realize that those are the simple luxuries because you only have your experiences. And do you want your experiences just to be like paying rent for a luxury apartment when you could just live the simple life and have enough money to do a bunch of random things with your friends, regardless of what time of the month it is? And that's what made me realize like I would rather do that than pay rent. Pay a large sum of rent. So I realized those are some of the simple luxuries that not everyone has if based off like the budget that they do have. The next luxury I have is like being able to pay for emergencies. So while being here, I had a few emergencies, a lot of things having to do with my car. And my car, it was just random things that never really happened, and I had to pay for those things. And when you don't really budget because you don't know when it's going to happen, and those are simple luxuries, being able to pay for an emergency when things happen. And even when it had to do with going to the dentist, going to the doctor, I went to the doctor a bunch of times, and with this year, I had to pay for certain things that were a lot of money, like around $900. And having the luxury to be able to afford the dentist for your internal health, it's so important. And I feel like I value that so much more than having to pay for an apartment. In my head, I was like, if I did not pay so much money for this apartment, I could easily just pay for my dentist things. And I did, but it didn't have to be as hard as I like made it if I wasn't paying this unnecessary amount of money. Again, everyone has their different types of luxuries. Personally, if you love the luxury lavish lifestyle of waking up in like tall ceiling and stuff, that's cool for you. But again, everyone's luxuries are different. I'm just listing out mine. So again, the next one I have is like taking care of myself. And this is my favorite luxury, taking care of myself, which is my hair if I need to do my hair, buying new makeup, buying perfume, shoes, different outfits, dresses, things like that. Those are the nice luxuries and stuff. Going thrifting if I feel like it. Those are the fun luxuries I enjoy. And if I'm spending so much money on an apartment, it's just like I would rather spend it on getting a new hairstyle. Mind you, I do my own hair, but sometimes money is a little too tight that I have to like maybe keep a hairstyle for longer or do something else. I don't know, but having the luxury to take care of yourself is so important. And it just made me realize that I value that so much more. And another luxury I realized didn't have to do it with any money, but slow, quiet mornings. So quiet mornings that you don't have to think about anything, like things that are due, things that like are going to be costly, things that might dent in your plans in the future. Having slow, quiet mornings and taking time to brush your teeth and cook things and just not think about anything, I value that so much. I was still able to have those slow, quiet mornings while being in my apartment, but a lot of the times I was dealing with emergencies, so I was constantly thinking, oh, I gotta do this to get that, or I have to do this to get that, and it's just like I would rather have a calm mind and not have to do that. like I would just rather not do that. And yeah, I just felt like I wanted to make this video because when I've been looking at apartments and when I've been talking to people, a lot of people around my age and stuff, even people that have like kids, like adult kids, they talk about like, yeah, living expenses are so expensive and how they wanted to experience the luxury lifestyle of an apartment as well. But it's like you realize like there's no point when you're in it. It just made me realize it doesn't matter. And I feel like it's the same way if you get a car. Some people love having a lavish, nice, new car. I personally don't care. My car, I have a cute Kia Soul, and I love my car so much. It's not the most lavish car, but it does everything it needs to do for me. It takes me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it just has so much room. Like I can go like on a road trip with it, all this stuff. It's so good. And I feel like I've correlated that to being in an apartment. Like as long as it's clean, it does what it needs to do. There's nothing bad. I think what this made me realize is that it's super important to live below your means, not even within it. Like if you could live below your means and not pay for anything unnecessary, it's that's such a luxury in itself. And while being here every month, I've been counting down to leave so I can do things that I plan on doing and things that I've wanted to do that had to be on hold because I was paying rent on this apartment. And it made me mad because I would do the math and be like, dang, I could have been saving this. But it's a learning experience. Like, I am a person, sometimes I listen to what people say if it makes sense to me, but sometimes I gotta learn it. I gotta learn it and experience it by myself. So that's what I did, and now I know that was dumb. And I'm not gonna do that again. Like, I know some people make mistakes and buy an expensive new car because they're like, oh, I want this new car. And it's just in your head that you want it. And then when you buy it, you have like this $700 car payment, $500 insurance. Like, it's okay. We make mistakes. It's okay. But it's important to learn from it. Like, don't just don't do it again. Like, so that's what I've been doing. I've been looking at very cheap apartments so I could, not too cheap because I don't want to be in a bad area, but very affordable apartment so I can still live comfortably and not overthink about what's going on, so I can have those slow mornings, so I can be able to pay for emergencies, so I can just do things that I see more important than paying rent, basically. So if y'all have ever done something similar, honestly, it's okay. It's nothing to beat yourself up for because, like, again, we're learning things day by day. You know, everyone makes mistakes, so I'm not beating myself up for it. I did what I did. That's it. I'm not doing it again. I do feel like I have learned a lot being in this apartment, and this is such a great thing that I did learn from, because when I was in my studio apartment, I kept beating myself up for being in a studio apartment, and there's nothing wrong with being in a studio apartment. I kept thinking about my studio apartment while I was in here. I was like, I had all my things, my necessities. It was still cute. I was doing what I needed to do, and it was affordable, and it was seen as luxury still. So I love my studio, and there's nothing wrong with anyone with the studio if you do have a studio. So live within your means, under your means. Just live your life with what you see as luxury. If you see getting your toes done all the time as luxury, but you don't see getting your hair done as luxury, that's you. Everyone has their different versions of luxury. If you see buying a book and reading it, or buying cooking utensils and cooking every weekend, or going to dinner, doing those things, do what's best for you, but don't let social media influence you and make you feel like just because you're living in a certain way, that's wrong. That you have to live a certain way that other people are living in, you know? Because it doesn't matter. All that matters at the end of the day is what you like, what you see as luxury, what you love doing, what your opinion is on what you're doing. So that's it, y'all. I haven't posted in a while because life hasn't been throwing me in a ringer. Actually, I just wanted to like go outside. I just wanted to take a break. That's it. So life has not been throwing me in a ringer. I do not like to let life get to me, so, and it won't. So I hope it doesn't get to you either. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.